Feral Audio.
It was April, and my TV brother and I ventured into the basement to knock the dust off of some of our old comics. Little did we know the treasures we'd discover. So settle in for another journey into the psyche of two infinite children. We're so glad you're here to partake. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Adventures of Danny and Mike, the podcast.
Welcome to episode 24 of The Adventures of Danny and Mike. To my right, Mr. Daniel, or Danny Tamborelli.
Yes.
And to his right, Mr. Michael C. Morona,
Hi.
who's tickling Dan, making him jump.
That was not a tickle. That was a pinch.
And I'm
That was
producer
not
Jeremy.
And there's not even any photographs going on. I didn't pinch you at all during this photograph.
Wait,
It was one of our few.
I don't understand what's going on.
He pinches me when we take photographs.
Oh, right,
together.
to get a
to get me
reaction.
to make a stupid face on a picture for other people.
Whatever you have to tell yourself.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. What else is it? Why else would you do it? Do you do it because you like to pinch me?
I think
Just
it's
in that
probably
moment?
an uneasy way of like breaking silences or awkward moments, right?
There's nothing awkward about someone saying, "Hey, do you want to take a picture?" And we say, "Okay," and then we take the picture, and then I get pinched, and I wince. What?
Well, but it's someone you've never met before.
And it is
There's nothing
comedy,
awkward about
and
that.
it is comedy.
Yes, it might be funny.
That's probably what it is.
But it has nothing
He
to
just
do
likes
with
picking on
breaking
you.
silence. Well, he's
I'm
my,
looking
my
forward-
fake TV older brother.
I'm
I guess
looking
I'm
forward
allowed
to doing
get-
some conventions with you this year, so let's get on that.
Oh, God, yes, we should get on that.
That'll be fun.
That's so I can get pinched more.
He's
Sounds like a...
like, the bruising, I can't take it.
Yeah.
My flanks. My flanks are so tender.
I'm getting flanks. I'm getting the side flanks.
You getting
What-
side flanks?
You have front flanks?
You get just get some amoxicillin. That'll take care of that right away.
Kills it.
Wait, is that a brand you hate, amoxicillin? Because that's just a generic.
I think it's just a
Antibiotic.
Generic, yeah, it's just a generic antibiotic. Maybe it's been over.
Clindamycin?
Maybe
Do you
those
not
have
like
been.
clindamycin?
I don't care about either of them. Maybe they've been overprescribed at this point. I don't have enough information to have an
I
opinion.
wish you would have brought it to the podcast.
Zithromax is the other one.
Oh, God.
Z-Pack.
Would you just stop?
What, you don't have a stockpile of antibiotics like I do?
No, I'm
just
not a
in case?
prepper.
One backpack full of antibiotics.
Oh man, I was in Europe for 6 weeks. Keep that Z-Pack in your bag just in case, because you don't know what those people do. What if I got sick in Czech Republic? I don't know how their doctors
Then you
are.
go to the hospital like anybody else. They have those there.
I got sick in Japan. I went to the hospital in Japan.
Exactly.
We know this.
I got ill actually every time I went to Japan.
And that's why I've only stayed in the airport and never went anywhere else in Japan. because
It's
I'm
awesome.
Afraid to get
No,
sick
I mean
like
you just got to get over it, and then you have a great time. Each time I went from like multiple, you just get sick, and then you get over it, and you're all right.
I got the shits.
In the meantime, they have the toilets.
What's the equivalent of Montezuma's Revenge in Japan? What is there?
Yeah, let's not start. In the meantime, the toilets plug in. They're heated. The seats are heated. They have the bidet, robotic bidet. Like
But
I
do
told
they have
you,
the squatty
like
potty that comes up?
Like I
Do they
told
have
you,
the thing
Uncle
that pop up?
Uncle Pat pranked me the first time we went to Japan. When we went to Japan at the YMCA, he was like, "Hey, Mike, come over here," and he squirted me with the toilet bidet.
That's right.
Yeah, they're way ahead over there with toilets, and we've started doing that stuff over here. Finally,
No, we still use a lot of paper.
paper towel tank tops,
No,
the
no,
Dan
no, no,
Tamborelli way.
No. You don't wipe with paper towels
Toilet paper,
unless you have nothing left.
toilet paper. Tank
guess
top.
we need
That's you.
sometimes-
That's you in an
oh,
August.
well,
Like the
we need
end
Toilet
of-
paper tank
the
top
end
would
of summer
never
school.
work well.
Well, we need to
You
revise
have to use the perfect, the
Make a
really
paste.
expensive Charmin.
Yeah, the quilt with the quilt.
We need to revise the design
air
of the tank
channels.
top to go clear down, so that it's like a diaper tank top all in one, sort of like an old school swimming suit for men.
No, the super V neck, like the plunging V.
A plunging V to my D.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of the muscle shirt.
What? I just wanted to rhyme, man. What's wrong with that?
Well, nice work, you did it.
I hope you had a good time.
Plunging V to my D.
America has suffered because of it.
I don't think America's listening. We mostly big in Sweden.
They're big in Japan.
Big in Japan. Who sang it?
Tom Waits.
Yes. Good work.
Also,
Jeremy, did you know that? No.
No, I didn't. I'm not a big Tom Waits guy.
Get out of your own apartment if you're not
I can't.
a Tom Waits guy.
We'll record the rest of the thing. You go.
I can't believe you said that.
Yeah.
But the only way I know the big in Japan phrase is Dave Hill did a show, a live show. That's how I knew Dave Hill, and it was amazing. About he's a really his band was really big in Japan, and it was they were playing crappy gigs here in the States, but then you need to go to Japan,
like
they
they played with Jounce like a couple months ago at Brooklyn Bowl.
Yeah, I mean that's how I would characterize. That's how I would say crappy.
Venue.
That's how I would say crappy.
This was 10 years ago.
There's 100 people in a what? How many person venue?
600.
So it felt kind of empty.
Yeah.
You think I could have brought the noise if I had?
I mean, we've been trying to advertise Thunder at all the Jounce shows, but they never show up. You never show up.
One of these days, you're going to hear the intro for. Thunder
I just
Rolls
want at
by
one
Garth
point
Brooks,
to just
and
have
we're
both
gonna-
of you at a Jounce show so you can do it, because I always ask both of you to come and you never come at the same time. That sounded really bad, but I didn't mean it
and
that
which
way.
is true though.
Still true.
Both in both ways. Well, I don't know. I guess we never really.
You haven't tried the other way.
Yeah, we don't coordinate.
Never tried either way.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Well, that's probably good. Well, Thunder. Again, I've said this in the last one, but we're stuck on the artwork, the concept,
The album cover.
He wants lots of like horses.
I want a single released by the end of the summer. Can we do that? Can you guys do that?
I don't know if we're like
I'll
single
produce
type.
it. I'll produce it.
A single type band, I think we're more of like
an
a
EP.
So then EP. That's fine.
3-song
Fine.
EP.
That's great. I'll handle the artwork. You
split
guys just
EP.
handle the content. I want content.
Well, if you're handling the artwork, that does change things.
I
a
think
bit.
we actually hit peak content earlier this year, so we're on the downside of content.
Well, then we should go through the archives and find that good content.
Yeah,
and
that's a
pull
good
it
idea.
out.
That's a good idea.
We'll pull it out, and we'll do that.
We'll
For
take-
the listeners,
we're gonna
I'm
take-
going to make this happen.
We're going to take old Elliott Smith songs and re-record them.
play them backwards and put our own lyrics.
This was my plan anyway. This was just my retirement plan.
Speaking of it now, we do have recorded somewhere some Thunder outtakes of Mike playing or I playing the guitar and Mike and I singing, but I'd have to dig deep for that. I don't even know when we did that.
You're a deep digger.
Well,
It's true.
maybe you're right. Speaking of deep digging,
How deep is your dig?
you did some
How
deep digging.
deep is your dig?
You-
How deep is your dig? How deep?
Dick
How deep
or
is
dick?
your dig?
know when I'm going to
No, but you digged. You did some
'Cause
deep
we're
digging in
digging
your
in a deep old dig.
family's basement,
Digging
right?
it deep.
Yeah, Dan found some good comics.
Some good
I
comic
found some
books.
good comics from Uncle Pat. Both basement action, or maybe in his case, garage.
Right.
No, they were definitely basement.
Dan went in
Uncle
his
Pat's
basement
too, I'm sure.
and found the big crate that his family moved. Came to Ellis Island in.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't come in a crate, man.
They smuggled extra.
They smuggled my great grandmother. They smuggled through. How many? Is it two?
It's three.
Is it two? It's okay.
It's two.
A three is
Three is
no
too many.
good.
It's too many.
good. Mozzarella.
Hey,
You
can't be doing that.
You can't
Why?
say that.
Mike and I can do it
because
because
those are
that's
our
our-
names for each other.
Yeah.
You don't get to say that.
I
Okay,
have a little
those are
mozzarella
our
in me.
names for
You have a
ourselves.
little mozzarella in you? How
Yeah.
much Italian do you have in you?
No, I
Jeremy?
mean literally, I've eaten mozzarella in the last 24 hours.
Doesn't make it okay.
Mozzarella.
Make it alright.
Dan, you were recently upset because of the Arbys commercial where they say
Oh, I hated that commercial.
there's like a Giuseppe.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the Arby's makes an Italian sub.
Arbys.
And it's like, move over, Giuseppe, or whatever he says. It's like, that is such a racial slur towards Italians, and I don't find it
Well, you're gonna.
amusing or funny. And I think that if you change that to
Any
other
yeah.
nationalities, people would consider it vulgar, but it's okay because it's an Italian sandwich with, Italian delicious meats and cheeses on it.
Well, that's what
from
happens.
fucking Arby's.
Oh.
Then they're like, hey,
right.
it's like, no,
I
you know what?
forgot.
If I ate an Italian sub from Arby's, my dead relatives would
would
come
rise
back and
up.
haunt me.
Yes. From
Just like if I ate at Olive Garden
they would
in
rise,
any way, shape, or form.
his dead Italian relatives would rise up from the crime scenes that they died at and come back and kill him.
I'm not even shitting you.
Or Jersey Mike.
I was dating a girl in Virginia, and we were down there, and her mom took us to Olive Garden, and I didn't want to do it, but I couldn't just say no. And when we left the building, I'm not even kidding. I think one of my relatives punched me in the stomach because I puked. I puked up all of the food that I had eaten,
including the endless breadsticks.
And it's like I walked out of the place,
including
and I got
the
to my
unlimited
car,
breadsticks,
and I
salad.
puked right next to my fucking car. And I swear that was my relatives being like, "You stupid Italian son of a bitch."
Yeah, but
maybe it was just the breadsticks, or maybe I was nervous.
was that the first time you met her, the mom?
It wasn't.
Oddly enough, it was
But
also
maybe,
an Olive Garden trip.
yeah, it was the first and last time I met her.
Right. Oh boy.
Not true.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I don't know.
That's what you get. That's what you get for eating shitty fake Italian food. If you're Italian, is you get something bad happens from your relatives.
I know people that think of that as a real Italian. It's pretty, when you're not
like the macaroni grill.
Yeah.
No, won't eat that either.
Why not?
Any of those places.
Why wouldn't you eat the mac? How
I
about
don't know.
Pizzeria Uno?
Pizzeria Uno
outside of Chicago.
Outside
of Chicago.
Not outside of Chicago.
How about in Chicago?
Maybe once, just to check it out.
Yeah, but if you're in Chicago, why would you? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, we figured that out already.
I don't.
We did a whole podcast about that, Jeremy. I don't know if you remember.
This my
you may have
days.
been cut in the face when we did the podcast, Jeremy.
I know. I remember we were wrestling for a dodgeball. Mike cut me.
You may have been bleeding.
Mike had fingernails like a child.
No. It was the edge of the dodgeball box.
Yeah,
it was the edge of the box. You remember.
Oh, I
You always
remember.
got to stay away from the edge of the box, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
It's like very Ian McKay.
But
We're talking about digging deep. Comic books brought a bunch. Brought a bunch of weird ones.
Basements, molds,
Number ones,
flooding.
flooding.
My grandma's house is definitely prone to flooding.
Yeah, we had a flood once, and it didn't affect the
Value
box.
of the steamer trunk.
That trunk literally has got to be 130 years old,
amazing.
125 years old, and it's still intact, and it's been carrying, I would say, maybe 700 to 1,000 comic books in it.
But it doesn't move. I mean, it just stays in your basement at this point.
Yeah, it stayed in the basement for a while, and the basement flooded, and then it didn't. It didn't
It
penetrate.
It floated somehow.
No, it didn't really penetrate because it's got feet, and it probably has like another 2 or 3 inches before the actual bottom
right.
is there. So nothing in there got ruined. But I mean, they're all my father's comics, and they were from 1962 onwards to the early mid 70s.
How does,
and I have
how's-
a bunch of them
how does he
from
feel
the
about
mid
that?
70s to the mid 80s.
How does he feel about that?
About what? Keeping them?
Yeah.
He's wanted to have them forever.
So you gotta organize them then, right?
I know. I did, dude. I bagged and boarded them when I was 14 years old.
I remember, but that's a long time ago now.
I know.
Soldier. That was 20 years.
I know.
And how about just ordering them and putting them in long boxes or something like that?
I know. I don't have them in long boxes. I have them now in Rubbermaid containers. The big heavy duty Rubbermaid containers, and they're up. I know they should be in the boxes. There's no corner. That's why I have them in the middle like that, so they're not touching anything.
Just go buy some boxes. They're cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll buy some boxes.
See, my dad had the excuse where he's like, I put them all in my attic, and then his mom, my grandmother,
Had some
threw 'em
bats,
away.
released some bats up there.
Right, and he always said that there was some amazing number ones, but I feel like that's a common excuse.
Yeah, no, my father told me that
He had
my
a Matisse.
grandmother,
He had a Matisse in the attic. Actually, original
he
Matisse.
had an Action Comics number 1 that he spent $20 or $30 on in 63, 64, something like that.
Wow.
And he left it out, and my grandmother came in and saw that his room was a mess and was mad at him and took everything and threw it out. And so he blames.
What's that worth today?
He
you
blames her. It's worth
Several
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
think? Wow.
Handballs.
But I don't believe it. I feel like that was more of a ploy for me to clean up my room that day in particular.
Oh, the fake story that never.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want me to do that? You want me to come in here and you better clean up all your stuff because I don't want to come in here and do what Grandma did to you. And he
I don't know what happened
He may have looked at my number one.
I don't know what
Shadow
happened to
Hawk
my Star Wars Empire Strikes Back Luke and Leia and Han. I don't remember what happened to that shit.
I had a whole bunch of figures and when I was maybe 7th grade and decided that I was too cool for action figures, I had all these Marvel action figures and like Spawn stuff. I had all sorts of stuff, and we decided that in just to show that we were adults now and not kids playing with toys, we used to play figure baseball where we took a bat and we used to toss.
You guys are awful people.
We used to toss the action figures and we'd hit it and see how many pieces we could break them into. And whoever was able to dislodge the head, the arms, the legs, they were points.
You just halved our listenership.
What do you mean?
For the listener, I'm frantically doing the cut motion across my throat.
I mean, I got nothing to hide, man.
I'm saying that's just embarrassing, though.
It's embarrassing. It is because it feels like it's a little bit of like pretension in the fact that I'm breaking toys, I guess. But whatever. At the time, I thought I was being pretty punk rock, to be honest. It's like
there comes a time when it's just
fuck
stuff.
this. I don't want it anymore. I don't care about it.
Yeah, I reject it.
G.I. Joe's breaking were the best though because they really
As I said, I twisted out Snake Eyes something awful.
Yeah.
I think there comes a time when it's like just becomes stuff sitting around. Although I know people who collected all their lives, but I hit a wall at some point and was like, what am I doing with all this stuff sitting around? Although I did keep all my comic
I'm
books.
going to rent it as a prop guy.
That's true. I wasn't at that point.
He's kept every wallet he's ever had.
A drinking glass. I have a whole closet full. No. But, I don't know. It just becomes stuff on top of stuff.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry that I brought it down.
Where are your
guys.
comic books, Jeremy?
Actually, next time I go to Ohio, I have to get them out of my, my mom's been holding them for me in a Jeremy closet, we call.
Crap.
Nobody's called it that, but it's all of my high school CDs and
oh Lord, yeah, I got a lot of shit like that in the basement too.
There's a lot of all my yearbooks, and I have 2 or 3 crates. I have shit tons of baseball cards. That was my thing more than comics, but I have 2 or 3 milk crates full of comics, bagged and boarded. I think Punisher #1 in there. Like my friend Daniel.
Let's get them together.
You have the first appearance of Punisher?
It's either the first or the first in something. I can't remember.
Let's get them together. Let's fuse them.
Let's see what's happening.
Me with my glow in the dark. Oh, I won't say.
Ooh. Is that foreshadow? It's a little. Jeremy, Michael's showing foreshadow.
Well, I can't do. I mean, you guys have known each other long enough. You probably should have seen that already.
Accurate. We've only seen Michael Stipes because he changed in front of us.
Us or just Mike?
Just Mike.
You're just adding yourself to the
I'm
the
just
story.
Myself
He's remembering. If you tell a story enough times, you can imagine yourself.
That's true.
Mike's like, remember that time I was buried in the ground for Pete and Pete?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And I was wearing a plaid shirt
Weird
and
tattoo.
and boots.
Steel toe boots.
Oh boy.
You should never trust a kid wearing steel toe boots. That's what I learned, or that's what other people.
Let's get an epitaph going. Let's take a collection up for your headstone. You should never trust a kid wearing steel toe
I
boots.
should have never trusted. Yeah.
I should have never.
No, but then we won't know who to bury with that. If with him, we definitely
It's me.
know. Yeah.
It's me. It's my. I'm the one
You,
dead.
no, you're the
Yeah,
epitaph.
yeah. No,
it's
no.
your
It's
epitaph.
my epitaph. I get it. I get it, guys.
Jeremy's off.
We started talking about mortality, and we've gone back
Morbidity.
to it. Morbid mortality.
I said morality because of my recent brain loss.
Don't worry about it. It's just, it'll come back. More ginkgo biloba. It'll take care of all that.
Work on what?
Ginkgo biloba.
Oh, I'm going to just do some crossword puzzles.
Sharpen up the old
Noodle.
the old mind.
The old noodle.
I don't use ginkgo biloba. I just use yerba mate.
I just New York Times back page.
there's a lot of shit.
I brought Man Bat #1 here.
Yeah,
Which was nobody even...
increasing the value of the apartment by how much?
$1.75, and there's a 15-cent comic, so that's a pretty good return on your investment.
Everyone's got a lot of shit in their parents' basements. It's time to admit it.
Yeah,
We do.
if your parents don't move, you don't have to move the shit out.
That's
But
kind
when
of
they
clutch,
move,
actually.
That's when you have to deal with your demons of stuff.
Or when you move, it might be time to consult that shit.
You know, I just moved and I didn't have to look at any of it. It's still.
Why
I have
didn't you
all my
take
CDs?
Why didn't you take any
all
of it
my high
into your
school
new
CDs?
Why didn't you take any of it into your new apartment?
Because I don't have enough space for that. But my parents have a lovely garage that can fit plenty of stuff.
How much... I've seen the garage. It's packed to the gills. How much of that stuff in the garage is yours? It's on the right when you walk in, right? You lift that door because that's where we got that amp from that one time that you had to use.
Correct. I have a bunch of. God, I have.
Is the majority of a one-car garage, you would say? That's the estimation?
It's. No. It's not that much. I would say of a 2-car garage, I take up about 1/6 of the garage.
Oh, it's not as much as I thought it was.
Yeah, it's not that much. Just big stuff. Like I have amplifiers that I don't use and road cases that I don't use and a couple keyboards that, when I'm an adult with my own house and I have a little my own little studio.
When is that going to happen?
When are you
You're
penciling
34,
that in?
You're 34 years old.
I know. Well, 40's looking good.
Well, this is the problem of living in the city. You just can't have that sort of life. Well, I maybe if you go out in the suburbs,
That's
but
true.
not. If you're going to do that in Brooklyn, you got to.
You got to get a loft space.
All right, we're gonna have to get
And
some
I'm
more
not moving
listeners.
to I'm not moving to Brownsville.
Or Soho.
Well, Soho's too expensive. At least Brownsville, you
You
could
can
probably
find
get
you
a
can
loft
find
for
deals.
cheap.
I bet you could find an old person in Soho that you could marry and stay on their.
Veranda.
You could marry them and then stay on their rent control after they pass away.
After they mysteriously pass away.
Not mysteriously.
Mike, are you saying you're gonna?
Not mysteriously. It's an old person. That's why they would be appealing because their rent would be there would be an old hippie whose rent was still like $700.
But there's a lot of legwork involved in this theory.
Why?
Well, you have to befriend them. You have to convince them that you're trustworthy enough to take over this basically golden ticket.
I think you just have to woo them, and that's it.
Well, I'm saying that takes work.
Hey, I was born with a tumor in my head. Let's have sex.
Oh, boy.
God, if I had $1, I'd have $1. That worked once. Anywho,
Like how I just beat Jeremy again in FIFA.
I can't. Your defense is pretty stout. I can't Drew. I can't get the ball down the field, so it's hard to score. Actually, this time we played, it seems a little more difficult. Maybe you've been practicing. I haven't been, but yes, you beat me. Who cares? Let's move on.
Gosh.
But you wouldn't play me in hockey.
Digging in the basement, you would find the old NOK Hockey board. NOK Hockey board being so much fun, and I can't believe there weren't more chipped teeth in my family over the years.
Well,
Is that from NOK Hockey?
Yeah, you didn't have a NOK Hockey board?
Is that the bubble? No,
Everybody had a NOK Hockey board. It was like the size of this, for the listener, I'm pointing at his coffee table. It's like the size of this coffee table. It's got a little high lip on it and 2 tiny hockey sticks.
That's carom, right? Carom board? Or is that different?
And there's a goal, and right in front of the goal is a little square wooden block, so you can't shoot it right in. You have to angle it in. You have to angle it in off the boards. Yeah. You never played NOK Hockey?
Never heard of such a thing.
What's the matter with you people? Jeremy, look it up right now.
I have heard of NOK Hockey.
Jeremy, look it up right now with your image search, and there it is.
See, yeah, it's similar to a carom board. And it's spelled NOK. Yeah, that's pretty. That's kind of fun.
Oh, classic!
And you just bounce.
You're saying that sometimes they would pop up and you get caught in the face.
Yeah,
so
I just
chipped too?
yeah, but there were never really any injuries from that, even though we did play it with some gusto back in the day.
And you flick the sticks? Is that what's going on?
Basically, you would start 1, 2, 3, and then if it was in your zone, you could shoot for it. Otherwise, you had to reach.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I've been thinking about getting a pinball machine in here. Maybe I'll just get some NOK Hockey.
No, I think you should go with the pinball.
Get a pinball
machine.
machine.
Yeah,
we
get the
like
pin-
that.
You know what?
I'll make you a set of keys.
I'll get.
So you can come over here and play pinball.
If you get a
whenever.
Street Fighter 2 machine, I'll teach you how to shadow throw.
I found a Simpsons one, but that shit's like $2,000. I don't think I can
Wow.
swing that. But I found cheap ones here and there, $400 or
I
$500.
love that. That Simpsons game was the best.
It's. I think. Yeah.
If you can find the Ninja Turtles one,
Hey,
that's
look up how much a Street Fighter.
one.
Look up Street Fighter 2 machine. How much that is, please, Jeremy.
Yeah, well, this has turned into just
Speaking
me
of
Googling
fantasy, speaking of fantasy basement things that you won't find.
things. Actually, you know where I found him before was the Craigslist. I don't know if you've heard of it.
What's Craigslist?
What is a list?
He's a guy named Craig. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you could find them around. They're usually all in Long Island at this point, right?
Wait, is the first one that comes up
$140
is
for
like,
Kiss.
but does it work?
Professionally restored, gorgeous condition. I can't believe that's
You should talk
that
to
must be a
Scott.
misprint.
You should talk to Scott Bromley from the Comedy
Oh,
Button.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. He does the shit out of that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's got a bunch in
He
his.
was hand restoring. I just noticed he was hand restoring one.
Terminator 2, Space Invaders.
Yeah, you can get all sorts of them.
Could you
if
please-
you like? You get
Jeremy, could you please
want.
get the Street Fighter 2 machine that we've all been aching for?
That's true. Could you do that?
Please.
I'll
That would
no.
be great.
Here's the Simpsons 5,000. Yeah, the problem is nothing. There's not a real good space for it in here. Is the problem?
We'll get rid of these this vase of willow
Okay,
branches.
we'll just put it right
It'll
there.
be fine.
And the
Yeah.
couch, we'd have to pull that out.
No,
Oh yeah, no. Pull the couches out. Put a couple in. That way you can charge the local kids to come in here to
Crap.
Jeremy's Arcade.
craft brews.
Jeremy's Arcade. We're serving underage kids since 2016.
Stay out of the fridge, kids. Not for you. But if, yeah, well, maybe we'll kickstart this because I'm not paying $5,000.
I have records down there in the basement. I have an old coffee table. My mother, I guess, is at this point is like a prepper with the amount of Costco size food she has in the basement.
Yeah,
Or maybe she just put a dent in it because of Easter, made shells and things like that. So they cooked a lot of stuff.
Does she have a kitchen in the basement?
No,
That's a true Italian thing.
she's not kosher.
The two kitchen system where
But
they have the kitchen downstairs.
it's not an
and
old
upstairs?
school. It's not an old school house. It's a new house.
Okay.
It wasn't built in like then.
Yeah, I figured then Staten Island houses would definitely have it.
Oh yeah, with the pillar in the basement like we have right
Yeah.
here. Which, when you're a kid running around, is so hazardous. Of course, you're gonna run and smack into that once or twice.
And you had friends that had parents that put like little styrofoam or just moldable things that you could put along that, so you wouldn't smack your head into
It
it.
still hurts.
It still hurts.
Still hurts. No, I didn't have friends like that.
I guess that was a Jersey thing.
We ran firmly into them.
Yeah, you guys didn't. Hey, in New York, the kids' parents, they didn't care about the kids' heads that much.
They toughen them
They
up.
toughen them up.
No,
In the
it's
suburbs, they're like, watch out.
No, that's funny. When
Watch
you go,
out! You got to put a little thing on there, like the.
No,
you
and
have
they can't-
tables that have those really sharp edges, and they put those little round off things on them.
Yeah. Now in McCarren Park, you see all the kids, like little kids, running around with like helmets on for no good reason. They
Really?
have them on. Yeah.
Okay,
protect
honey, you're
their
going
head.
outside, but you got to wear a helmet. I'm not riding my bike, Mom. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're wearing a helmet. Anyway.
Doesn't matter.
There's a number of kids like that.
Oh, kids, I don't want to be.
What? Look at what's on top of your head. You got to protect that anyway from ridicule, and also humidity, because I'm sure it fluffs up.
Yeah, I mean that's the good thing about it's like I'm wearing a helmet in the summertime all the time, so I bang into shit like crazy
on purpose.
Yeah, just to be like, hey, look what I can do.
Well, gents,
Yeah,
It's been a real pile of crap.
barn burner.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
we
okay. We
you
got
guys
more
have-
to come.
You guys have really sucked it.
we have a really funny comedian coming up. His name's Mike Lawrence. You guys are gonna love him.
He's got more beard than all three of us put together.
Oh, by far.
We're gonna
By
talk
far.
about some comic books, so stay tuned.
All right.
And everybody I'm talking to lives there. What's so great about it?
About Didymus Park?
It's cheap.
When I was a
cheap.
kid, my best friend lived on Cortelyou. I remember that.
Yeah, that's near where I am.
This is a drivable place to live, right?
Yeah.
Is there
There's a lot of driveways and garages over there, right?
Big ass houses too.
Are we gonna keep this NPR level of tone? Can we
No, we
talk
don't
like
have
this?
to. We can speak
We
as
haven't even
loud or
started.
as short as you.
No, it's just funny.
slow as
We
you
haven't
like.
even started recording yet. This is just the warm up guy. I'm the warm up guy for the podcast. The real Mike is.
Don't let him fool you. He definitely speaks like this.
the
most
real
of the
Mike.
podcast.
No, the real Mike is
Very-
going to come in.
I just love the
Very
idea
slow.
that like if they start hiring warm up comics to do podcasts.
Hey guys, thanks for listening.
the real Mike is in the studio.
Now, when they say stamps.com, you all cheer.
And we'll know.
I wanted to be the world's first cool down comic. Like I just go out and make people really sad, and then they'll laugh at anything that happens.
In real.
Yeah, that's literally how they booked WrestleMania last night. They made sure that every match had the most depressing outcome, so that you were supposed to cheer the guy they wanted you to cheer at the end, but people just hated him anyway. It backfired.
You had been so manipulated at that
Yeah.
point.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch all of WrestleMania?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of WrestleMania, all 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah,
How's your liver and bladder?
that was good. I pissed all over the show.
There you go. You didn't lose control.
No.
Oh man.
What's wrong, Mike?
I didn't charge up my PS4 controller.
I think it's okay.
There's a brand we hate.
Why?
Fuck Sony.
Yeah, but it's either Sony or Microsoft. What are you going to choose?
Oh, they both fucking suck, man.
I like that I came in here and you guys were playing a soccer video game, and I figured those two things would cancel themselves out. One of the most fun things, and one of the least fun
Exactly.
things.
Wait, which one is which?
My life.
Video games are amazing. Soccer is boring.
Oh.
If you lose, do you get to act out the gangsters that kill the team? Is it a mini game?
You should be able to unlock the. You should be able to unlock that stuff like
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Is there an unlockable 2 Escobars level?
It's been getting worse lately. Somebody like shot a player on the field recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah, it's been getting worse.
I didn't know how Brazil survived when they lost to Germany 8-1.
Oh
And,
man.
I'm a Jew and I never saw people lose that badly to Germans. It was so embarrassing.
Wow.
And I figured and what was amazing was that the Brazilians they weren't even mad at the Germans because they're like, no, you're really great players. We're impressed by your skill. They hated their own team. I'm surprised that they all weren't dead immediately.
There are a lot of Germans emigres living in Brazil. Could be one of the explanations.
Yeah. Because of that thing that didn't happen between 1941.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of blonde, blue.
Well, you read one girl's diary and you think everything is true.
I feel that the match was really, really painful, but
Yeah.
you couldn't stop watching.
No.
Like the Iraq War.
Or this podcast.
Perfect. Oh man. Well,
We started, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
When are we going?
we like to do that.
We like to surprise
that's
surprise people.
We
Just hit the
lulled
button.
you into a false sense of security, and
And now what? You gonna strip them naked?
well, no, we don't do that.
It's
That
rain.
wouldn't be an appropriate thing to do. on a
It's
podcast
raining out.
because you can't see it.
Yeah.
What's funny about that on the radio?
It's just the shittiest version of Guess Who? Does the naked man have a dick that is smaller than his confidence?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah. Oh, man. This is fun for me, guys. I used to love Pete and Pete. I remember the first time I came to New York, my uncle was an actor, and he went on an audition, and Hardy Rawls was one of the other people auditioning. And
Nice.
that was the first celebrity I met, and when my uncle told me that he wasn't a billionaire, like I realized what show business was and decided to do it anyway.
Something else. Oh, you did it anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's okay.
I was like, he doesn't even just get the part. That's Pete and Pete's
mean?
dad.
Wow. Well, he was also the Maytag Man.
Yeah.
That was his bigger role in life was the Maytag Man.
Yeah.
I've noticed that the pendulum swings between a more sedentary Maytag Man and a more virile Maytag Man. You'll notice every so often the advertising firm changes and the man changes.
It's going to be amazing when it's like they have the first black Maytag Man. Like, that's going to be like what they teach on like February 27th of Black History Month. Like,
To get that out of the way.
This was the day the black Maytag Man came to say hey.
now let's learn
Say
about
hey, kid.
Now let's learn about how Jaleel White made people realize that black people could be annoying nerds too.
He's a hero, and he had an alter ego,
It was super cool.
extremely
Stefan?
smooth, extremely
Stefan
smooth.
Urkel.
What I loved about that was like that just showed how attractive he thought he was with the glasses off. But he just looked nerdier.
Confidence is inside, right?
Yeah.
Take those foggy glasses off, you. What's hiding in behind there, Mike? What's hiding behind that beard?
What's amazing is like when you go back and watch all the Family Matters, you just realize it's about like a good, hardworking cop who loves his daughter and is trying to keep this like rapey nerd away from her, and then he loses in the end.
In the end,
Like he just wants Laura. Laura clearly isn't consenting and doesn't want any part of it, and it's supposed to be charming and funny.
but it's just wearing down her resistance over a number of years.
Exactly.
That's must be very disheartening for Reggie Val Johnson.
Yeah. I
I
stayed.
never really heard about Family Matters like that before.
Oh, yeah.
It makes a lot
This
of
guy
sense
obviously wrote his thesis on
Man.
this.
I could darken up any sitcom for you. Mr. Feeney was definitely trying to fuck Corey. Like that's totally a thing.
What?
I mean, look, he was his teacher in elementary school. Then he becomes like the principal when he goes to like middle school, and then he becomes the dean of the college that he's at. Like the amount of ambition that he had to have just to follow this kid.
Follow him the whole
That's
way.
insane. And he lives next door to him. I can't leave you, Mr. Matthews. I long for your touch.
Yeah, this is creepy.
My
Notes.
VHS selections are pretty delicious at this point.
Hello, Mr. Matthews. Is it me you're looking for?
Don't you think a lot of Dan's interactions with adults in Pete and Pete were pretty creepy, of the creepy type?
Yeah, it is interesting that no one ever thought Artie was a pedophile.
I mean, he wasn't. Seriously, nothing happened.
I know.
It's
No. But I'm just saying, like, if you looked at that, I don't know if you could get away with that kind of adult-child interaction now on a show without people being, like, weird about
really weird about it. Yeah, he's in
No,
he's in spandex tights. His belly button's always showing when he lifts his arms.
it. Do, like, autism awareness groups love Artie?
But he also hung out with a
might.
lot of weird.
I mean, seriously.
He hung out with a lot of weird adults.
Yeah.
This character, your character,
Yeah. I mean, who's weirder than
Inspector
Iggy?
34,
Well,
Iggy Pop.
Nah. 34 that's my favorite episode.
You like that one?
34, yeah.
Because the only wrong way to eat chicken wings or ribs is neatly,
Yeah.
which is
Fail.
It's a metaphor for life.
Because I'm a big Simpson guy, too, and I love the Frank Grimes episode.
Oh, grimy! That's
And-
so great. They
and
go together
right?
They go together
Inspector,
so perfectly. Wow, I never thought about
Well, it's
that.
just great that, like, in your childhood, watching, like, perfect people just do the right thing, realize that their whole lives have been a lie. Like,
Wow, grimy as he liked to be called.
some people think that's the end of the show. Like, that's the jump the shark.
That's the
moment.
last episode.
Well, like, in terms of, like what the show became afterwards, because, like, it's the episode where Homer was just, like, an unrepentant
He was
asshole.
the most. Yeah, he was the most like one way he could be.
But it's such a great episode.
It is.
Like, even if it is that, it's like it's almost worth it. Like, it's one of the best lines ever when he goes, "You went to outer space
You've
and
never been. You've never been.
Oh, it's the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Who were the other weird adults? Fucking
he had all kinds of weird adults that he hung out with.
The principal,
Adam West.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Not a
serious
pedophile.
rivalry.
Yeah, definitely not a pedophile there at all.
Was he weird in
What's
real
his
life?
name? No, he was.
I guess I
he
hung
was
out with-
super cool.
He seems awesome.
I have a picture of me at like 12 years old, and like we told him to like put the
Devil horns up? Oh, that's fucking awesome.
And it's an awesome picture. And I can't. And I don't think he really has any idea what he's doing.
I think he knows.
But it was-
I think he knows what.
But he thought they
maybe
were
now
bad
he does.
bad
Yeah.
ears.
He might have thought they were bad ears.
He's like, I have to copyright this gesture.
Dude, I remember I watched like the True Hollywood story of Adam West, and like Burt Ward, Robin is like talking about how like there was one time when they were like practicing, like, going over lines together, and he's getting Adam West is getting a blowjob in the Batman suit. It's just the fucking greatest thing. Like, that's like if you could capture 1966 in one photograph. It's just
running lines in full costume.
Yeah, that is the best, with that gut sticking out, that fucking little tum that bat tum sticking out. It's fucking, yes, that's good, old chum.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Well, there was none of that going on Pete and Pete. I think he was past his prime at that point.
50 years later, the business has changed.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
What's going on there, Jeremy?
Oh, hi. Well, I thought that was a pretty good segue to go into a little judging a book by its cover, and oddly enough, there's a DC. 2 DCs.
Jeremy's the worst at segues.
Well, I don't know. You had
Actually,
two
that was a
horrible
pretty-
ones.
But Jeremy also
Decent
looks like
segue.
he owns a Segway. So.
Listen, little do you know to get
rents
around
it.
this place.
He rents it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the saddest.
Oh, we got to go to the bathroom. That was me getting on my segue. No, we thought we'd play a little game here. We'd talk about some comic books since you're a big comic guy, right?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yes.
He's
Okay.
wearing a Flash T-shirt.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start with
For
with
the
a
listen- for the
Flash
listener.
then. How about that? We're going to judge a book by the cover. So you guys are just going to look at the covers of these comic books, and then we're going to try to write the story. What do you think about that?
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
This is Flash, number 52. This is an old school.
Put it up.
What do you see?
Put it right there.
And for the
these
listener,
are going to be
this
on
will
the
be online.
yeah, on the old website. So if you want to play along, you can feel free to do that. This is an issue of the Flash.
And this is issue 52?
Yeah, it's old
This
school.
is issue 52.
Really? What year is that?
We're gonna have to
By
we're gonna have to go deep
It's
to look.
25 cents.
No, it's not number 52. It's number 215.
Yeah.
It's 52 big pages.
Oh, it's 52 big
Jeremy.
pages.
You
Yeah.
gotta look here
Jeez.
where it says
Because
number.
I know the Flash numbering, which was renumbered like in the 50s, and I was like, there's no way that was an issue 52.
Yeah, particularly
52
because
big
it's
pages.
25 cents,
Yeah.
too.
Flash
So you
didn't
can
start
almost
over
tell.
until after Crisis on Infinite Earths in 1986.
Really?
Yeah.
That's some deep track.
How many
shit right there.
reboots have there been since Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Oh, man. With the Flash, there's been at least like 4 number 1s, I think. Maybe 3. Well, there's that, and then they relaunched it with fucking Bart Allen. Then they relaunched it again with Barry, and now they're relaunching it again, I think. Yeah, there might be even one more. It's insane. It's the most ridiculous thing. They
New 52, it didn't make a...
yeah, they keep relaunching this stuff because they think that new people will read. But when
They got a
find,
TV show now.
Yeah, but when they find out it's like volume 4 or 5 of something, they still get lost and they don't want to be a part of it. And
to go backwards to...
yeah, and I think it's also like people watch the movies and the TV shows and they're like, I'm good. I don't need to read this shit.
Right.
And all you're doing is just losing the people that
you're cannibalizing
did
your
love
own
it.
audience.
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, they sell way less copies than they ever have. You know, like the death of Superman was the death of the comic book industry, kind of, because you were able to fool people once, but then they're like, oh, this wasn't that good of a story, and he comes back, we're done. You know, they sold like millions of copies, and then they never do that again. Like, I think the highest selling issues now are like 150, 200,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they plummeted. Yeah. And people say it's the most popular that it's ever been. I'm like, the comics aren't. The movies are.
Well, this being that you probably know all of these storylines, this might not work because you actually know.
I don't know this one. But the reason, and there were lots of comics to pick from, but the reason that I liked this one is because I always love when they like talk on the cover. They don't. That's a thing they don't do at all anymore.
Right.
But he says Flash is holding up Jay Garrick, who was the Golden Age Flash, and he says, "You savage! Why did you have to kill him to get at me?" And I just want the villain to be like, "Yeah, that's why I did it." It's the most basic.
It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious.
Like, what's the villain going to be like? You know what? Yeah, you're right. I could have just killed you.
So,
But this makes it, this makes it tougher for him.
wait, Barry is clearly upset, right?
Yeah.
And he got his powers with a thing falling on him.
He got his powers when like a bunch of chemicals got struck by lightning.
Full of chemicals
Yeah.
struck by lightning fell onto him. How did Jay Garrick get his powers?
I think it was like hard water or something. It's something
It's
really,
always hard water.
It's some
Always hard water.
dumb golden age bullshit. Like there's a Marvel character who is like the super speedster of like the Marvel golden age called the
Quicksilver?
Wizard.
Oh, the Wizard.
Yeah, and his was that he was injected with mongoose blood.
I
That's
think we
like,
should
I
try
think Charlie Sheen read that comic book,
Yeah.
and then he figured it out. He's like, but what's cooler than a mongoose?
You're either gonna get really
Tiger.
fast or AIDS.
that. I think we should both go get mongoose. We should open up a mongoose blood shots bar. You know, like the hot,
yeah.
You know, like the new
Right.
hot thing on the Lower East Side is bone broth. I think mongoose blood
What?
will be the next.
Is that a thing for real?
Yeah,
Bone
man.
broth?
I
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah, I think mongoose blood
Bone broth.
shots.
Okay, we have wheatgrass juice. We have some lemongrass,
And we have-
mongoose blood.
And we have bone broth.
Is
And,
that legal? Is that legal?
It tastes so delicious. It allows you to forget that your parents haven't returned your text. You fucking loser.
They don't even care if I'm dead in this.
You
basement.
bone broth drinking jabroni.
you brone brother.
I like that bone brother.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes our heroes is that they have emotions. Because when you put them up against the villains have emotions too, but those emotions are typically like the 7 deadly sins, like pride and gluttony and slothany and all of those other ones. But these guys actually care about people, so that's how you can get at them,
Yeah.
by killing people they love,
Yeah.
who came before them.
Yeah.
It's very relatable.
And it's like cancer for me.
And I'm pretty I know that, Jay Garrick was definitely around after this, like
In another form, right?
no, I mean I wonder if he even lasts, like if he comes back in this issue that he dies
it
in.
must be because it says
Is it
death
double-
of an
double-
immortal.
Yeah.
So how
That's a
if
null-
he's
that's a
immortal,
nullity.
it doesn't make any sense.
That's
but
a
it makes me
nullity.
want to read more of it,
No, that
which is
can't
why they probably put it on there.
That can't happen.
Yeah.
So I think in the end there's a happy ending. I'm just gonna go with that. It's usually
I don't know. It looks like all the pages don't stick together.
No.
oh boy, they're bagged and boarded, Michael.
There's no spotting or foxing.
Look at the next one.
Yeah, let's do the next one. This is also a DC Action Comics.
Which
Number 391.
There you
Lay
They're
it
going to
out.
be like Action Comics number 15 cents.
lay it out over here.
So
Jeremy.
the bubbles are, Dad, why you locked me in this lead glass booth? I'm sorry, son, but you've misused your superpowers, so I'm wiping them out forever with this gold kryptonite. And it's titled The Punishment of Superman's Son. Which I didn't know he had a son.
Well,
So
Well, they did a
That's
lot
news.
of like alternate reality stories and stuff. That was a big
wasn't
thing.
What If one of your favorite titles?
Yeah,
was a-
that's
that was
Marvel.
yeah.
And then
Have
later
a
on,
bunch of
DC, they would call them, Elseworlds.
Yeah, Elseworlds.
But
those
these,
are the best.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Those are the best.
I love that they pretend that they're not all imaginary stories. This
other
one's
ones
real,
really
but this
happen.
one's fake.
Yeah, the other ones really happened.
Yeah, this one's just fun because it's like Superman, like that pose that he has. He's like really just shrugging and sad. Like he looks like he can't fit under the ceiling. Like,
there's a Definite shrug.
No, he's not.
So that means that
No,
he's
he's
in
not
that
flexing.
means he's locked his son in the basement.
Yeah,
is
he's
what
not
that means.
flexing on his own son. He's more like, this hurts you more. This hurts me more than it hurts you.
I would love
even
it-
though I'm zapping
but there's
you
gold
with
kryptonite. What's the deal with that?
It still hurts me more emotionally than it does you losing all your powers.
I would love if like.
See? Those are our heroes. They care.
The thing is, once he shows him the gold kryptonite, he's lost the powers, but instead he just puts him in this fucking case. He puts his son in a case. I would love if it just turned out that the son was gay and Superman was like, maybe the gold kryptonite will fix you, boy.
That's the type of stuff that was recently declared illegal, that reversion therapy.
Yeah, it should be. It's horrible.
Gosh, poor Superboy. I wonder what did he do to misuse his powers? How?
If you already don't kind of like vaginas, seeing one isn't going to change your mind. It's just going to seal the deal.
You know what? That's what's written on page 2 of this. It's funny that you said that. I can't believe you knew that.
This was pre-code, obviously.
What I would want to read in this is the letters pages, because back in the day, Mort Weisinger was the editor, and he was just like super surly with like kids who would
And
respond.
his response, yeah,
He was like a real prick about it. And I remember,
they're very terse.
So he was originally feeding the trolls.
he was the ultimate troll. And I remember I was working at LaGuardia at like 4 a.m, and I was reading a comic like on my break, and this guy came up to me, and it was Mort Weisinger's son. And he was so bitter about like how his father hadn't been remembered as much as he should have, and the legacy that he built. And then I went home and read about Weisinger, and apparently he was just like the biggest asshole ever. And the son wasn't that great of a person either.
I don't know why my dad's not getting more notice.
Carry my luggage for me.
Tell him about my father.
So why do you have me locked in this lead glass?
Yeah,
tube?
I would like to know what Superboy did. How did he misuse his powers? Was
I know.
he using, I don't
I actually want to read this. Yeah.
It is intriguing.
I mean, that is the thing about these two covers, because there is a story, it makes you want to see what's inside, and now they never do that. It's all just poses.
Why do they do that? Do you think it's just because they think that is a better way of grabbing people's attention?
Yeah, I think
This is too ADD. Like,
No,
there's too much stuff
it gets in the
written
way
on
of the
here.
art. It gets in the way of the art.
Well, I think that's some of it, but telling a story, it makes art more artful, I think. But but the problem is that now it's like this theory that everyone's comic is someone's first comic, and you want it to just look like a boring first issue every time, but it just does nothing to. It's like there was a period of Spider-Man in like the mid-2000s where every cover was just him web swinging, and you had no idea what the story was.
Well, what else would he do? He's the web slinger.
He would we have
What
a
do you
Spider-Man
expect him-
cover,
Yeah,
and
what do you
it
expect him to?
tells you what happens in the story, and it's amazing.
I wouldn't have been able to get as many comic books as I had if they were all the same like that. Like, that was part
It's
of like the
boring.
fun of like going through and like looking at the cover to see.
And when
I want this.
Yeah, and when you look through issue by issue and stuff, and it's also the big thing they do is they often don't have the guy who draws the book inside drawing the cover, which really hurts the artist inside a lot of times because he's not as good.
Huh.
And you buy it and you're like, oh man, I bet the art in this is awesome, and then it's garbage compared to like the cover that someone spent a long time on.
It's also another money grab with the variant covers.
Oh, all that
people,
too,
of
yeah.
people buying this, multiple copies. I realize
Yeah.
I have 2 copies of the same. I think it's Heroes for Hire or something over there.
It's the same thing but different covers.
Yeah, no, it's not Heroes for Hire. It's something else.
But do they do that today? Do different people do the cover and the inside art?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it back then sometimes. Like, they would have, like 1 or 2 house guys, like John Romita Jr., but do a lot of them and stuff. But it was, like, more consistent with, like, an in-house style. And now it's, like, it's just a complete night and day difference. Like, all of the Punisher comics that Garth Ennis wrote had this one guy, Tim Bradstreet, do the covers. And the covers rarely ever had anything to do with the story. And Tim Bradstreet only ever did the covers. When if you have a guy
you feel deceived.
Well, it's not only that, but when you have a guy who's drawing the book for 30 issues, he should get some shine too.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
for the listener.
Yeah.
For the listener, shine is when you get some notoriety.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know because
Thanks for clarifying, Mike.
I don't know. I just,
Some respect. Yeah, that was it.
sweet.
So are we presuming that young Superman? We never did figure out.
He
what
does not
I
get
think
any shine. He does not get any shine.
It should be
something
based on the period,
adolescent.
too.
Something adolescent. He was, peering at girls.
Is that a 60s?
No.
Yeah, but his mom also probably died when he was born.
That's true. Hey, the
It was
scene in
an
Mallrats.
This is
Yeah.
something. This is
it
something.
was an S section.
This is something I
just
wondered
flew
about
out.
earlier. Could Superman successfully spank his own son? Would he feel anything, or would the spanking itself like shoot him away?
No, well, superheroes
like Dragon
can
Ball
hurt
Z.
each other.
But I'm saying like Dragon Ball Z, how they like knock each other through mountain after mountain after mountain.
Yeah. I think if you want to just give like a stern pat on the butt, he could.
And that would hurt. And that would hurt the kid.
Yeah.
Well, I
But the
heard
kid
that it
has a
just
super
causes.
ass. The kid has a super ass. Though.
Just when that happens, it's going to be a bunch of earthquakes.
Yeah.
In India, is usually every time that happens, I blame it on Superman spanking Superboy.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
that's what happens. Yeah, because it's what are you going to do with all that force?
whatever
But they don't
helps
read
you.
comics, so it's okay. We're going by Zack Snyder rules here. If we don't see them on screen, we don't have to care about them.
Doesn't happen.
They should all
It
die.
never happened.
Yeah, that movie is fucking horrible. Oh, man.
I haven't seen it.
That's really bad.
Okay.
Batman kills lots of people. He
Stop.
shoots them.
Stop.
With a weird voice.
Stop.
He shoots them.
Stop it. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Are we closing the book on Action Comics?
Yeah.
All right, here's the next. This one's going to be a little different. This is we're moving to Marvel, and this is Ghost Rider number
This
15.
And I figured we should have one that is no story or anything, just a picture of Ghost Rider.
This is my fave.
And
Is this
just
your
the-
favorite one?
I mean, this is my sole contribution to the pick so far.
does that glow in the dark?
We're gonna find out. No, it would. It would say.
I'm not sure he got the glow in the dark version.
Yeah.
It would say on the cover, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably. So that's Nicolas Cage.
What he draws too. That's awesome. That is sick. That's sick that he got to do the cover and the inside of the.
Yeah.
That's a classic Ghost Rider for you.
He's just flaming on.
I think you can. I think when you're a comic book head, you can tell what era the comic book is from by how much it costs.
Well, that's a huge thing. The lettering, even the insignia.
Of the Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many. Yeah, because Marvel's logo has changed since then. DC's logo has changed a bunch of times. You can tell by a ton of things.
This is early 90s.
Yeah.
This is early 90s.
They don't even put like the way that covers look now look nothing like this.
How so? There's talking.
Well, one thing that they do now that I do like is they often do have the credits on the front.
So
Oh,
you
yeah,
know who
yeah.
you're getting.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was just Tex who drew this and he didn't do the rest of the comic.
Yeah, he was working at the time on this though. I think Mark Teixeira.
Is Mark Teixeira
Yeah.
my least favorite Yankee?
Yeah.
They all your least favorite Yankee?
Yeah, that's true. I hate them all equally. I wish Ghost Rider would just ride around the infield like killing them all.
Well, maybe that's what this episode's about. This copy. You never.
I think so.
No.
Oh, he's not wearing
Let me
a
tell
Yankees
you.
hat, so
Let me
that's
tell
a
you.
plus.
Well, it's a punk rock advertisement, is what it is.
Let me
It's
tell
got
you.
the chains and spikes.
Yeah, but
He had the greatest superpower ever.
the vengeance stare.
The penance stare, yeah. What it is when he looks in your eyes.
You're judged by
No, you feel all of the pain you inflicted on others.
other people.
Mike, you're wearing the same jacket as Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Me,
Is it?
Other Mike.
Yeah.
Mackie, Tex.
Oh, now Mike is
Chang-
busted inside, which is
Chang.
I don't know if we're
Going
allowed to
aga-
do
going
that, but
against
it's
the grain,
okay.
yeah.
That's fine.
Sort of
That's
what-
fine. We're
sort of his
we're
MO.
working with it.
No, I want to see the date.
What is the date?
July 1991.
Nice.
Nice.
I was 9 years old.
so. What's happening inside since you're peeking?
A lot of booms.
Has the show already started then?
The
Done
show,
the shorts?
the show had started. The show.
Oh, wow.
had-
Yeah, we were doing
we
the.
started in '89.
Oh, wow.
Right?
I think.
'89.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
I've known
one
him
of my
since he
best-
was 11 years old,
yes.
and I was 7.
And actually, yeah, one of my finest memories of 1991 is running lines with Dan Tamborelli while he gets a blowjob in the in the lumberjack hat, and it's just, and I'm trying to remember. Trying to concentrate
I wasn't
on the
confident.
line.
I wasn't confident about the size of my penis, though.
Do you guys have the nicest fans? I can't imagine them being terrible. Like, I bet they're cool people.
Yeah,
They're all pretty chill.
they're all very nice.
It's a certain kind of person, you know.
He's trying to say on the autism spectrum, but there's a lot of
But
nice,
there is.
there's a
I
lot
mean,
of nice
I'm
people.
sure, yeah.
Dude, I think there's some.
That's what he said.
And you
That's what
might
he
have
said.
to be with Artie. I didn't even put the two together.
Or
Yeah.
or pedophile, right? Because
Yeah,
you
well,
were
he's
implying-
not. No.
No, he wasn't. I'm just saying that, like,
No.
people would see that.
If he was
now.
a pedophile, he wouldn't have left.
Yeah.
Or
I think
he
this
was a pedophile and he
I
had
think
to
this
leave
does glow in
because
the
someone
dark.
was going to tell.
Yeah, that literally, like, you know, I was 4 when my parents divorced, but when he left you,
Mike, give me your hand. I think it does glow in the dark. You feel
think it
that?
does, yeah.
You feel that?
yeah, I think it does.
I thought you guys were sharing a moment.
No,
Honestly.
my
I know.
parents. My parents divorced when I was 12, but I feel you. I totally feel you.
Yeah. Was that weird to be, like, acting on a show with a married family while your real family fell apart?
No, because like the family was so weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The regular, whichever one was the real family was so weird.
Yeah.
The one that I portrayed was weird, was normal, but weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How many people with petunia tattoos have you met?
Oh, so many.
God. And they all think they're the only one?
Yeah, and I have to let him down easy. Yeah, like,
No, he
it's
doesn't.
crazy. Huh?
No, he doesn't.
I don't. I actually have like a couple pictures on my phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. Check out this one.
Yeah.
I have, like one in particular.
Yeah, there's
that's
gorgeous.
like a
There's
perfect,
gorgeous ones.
Perfect
Yeah, there's
replica.
jailhouse ones, and there's ones in between.
Yeah, that's true. The jailhouse ones are pretty cool though too. I did this last week. Still scabby.
I knew that the next sentence that was going to come out of his mouth was, "It's still scabby."
I've been saying that for a long time too.
I
That's
knew-
a phrase. I use that phrase regularly.
I knew he was going to say it's still scabby.
Well,
But it's clearing up. It's clearing up. I'll just say that. And we can move on.
Nothing's clearing up.
You going to go on to the next comic?
I don't. Yes, because I don't think we had a good backstory for that one. So this
Well,
one,
no, we could go in the closet and look and see if this goes in the dark.
I think maybe that'll be our photo op at the end. All right, here's the
Look, he's
next one.
producing on the spot like that. He
So,
doesn't say much, but when he does,
Yeah.
This one's a beaut. This is Marvel, The Amazing Spider-Man, number 33, February.
The greatest
This is-
comic book of all time.
And
I can't
apparently,
believe that.
Mike,
It really is.
This is the final chapter. This has Spider-Man in the grips of some sort of sewage grate. I don't know what it is, Mike.
So that
Or is that the arms of what's his face?
well,
It's not Doc Ock.
he does battle Dr. Octopus in this. This is issues 31 through 33 are considered like the pinnacle of Marvel Comics. Steve Ditko, who I think is, he's the first Spider-Man artist. I still think he's the best, just brilliant. There's like a 6 to 8 page sequence in this comic where this heavy piece of machinery is on top of him and he lifts it and rises above all. And it's fucking beautiful. And I'm almost crying now talking about it.
Wow.
That's how emotional that comic book is. But this introduces, this is when he first goes to college. What it is he needs some serum to cure Aunt May, who's dying because she's really sick. And, he fights the master planner, who turns out to be Doc Ock. Doc Ock, knocks him out and pushes this large piece of machinery on him. And he has to lift the machinery. He fights all of, like, the master planner's goons and, prevails. And it's fucking beautiful. It is everything that comic books should be, and everything that they weren't in Batman versus Superman.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
really scathing. Scathing reviews.
That is
It's
perfection
destroying
right there.
the box office, though, right? Like, it's doing really well, which baffles
Yeah, and Donald Trump is going to get the
That's
Republican
true, yeah.
nomination. Don't
Well,
trust people
everything's-
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You're a Ditko guy or a Kirby guy?
I'm a Ditko guy.
Nice.
I think Kirby's fucking great
I can
too.
see I can find I can see a Kirby face from across the room.
Oh yeah,
like the broad.
yeah.
The broad.
He
features.
drew the ugliest women ever.
You didn't.
They were
like,
all just pug ugly monsters.
You didn't like the way he drew.
Oh
them.
God, no. You look at them and you understand why they called women broads.
Wow.
Funny enough, that's a word Mike used to use a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying.
He's
I gave it
he's
up.
Curbed it. He's
Gave
curbed
it up.
You switched it for floozies?
No, I just tried. I
dames?
haven't watched Goodfellas this year, and
Yeah. I watched Goodfellas with like a really like Italian like friend of mine who, you know, it was like his favorite movie. And he got so furious when I made fun of like how bad of an actress Martin Scorsese's mom is. And he's like, that's his fucking mother. She's special.
What's this? What?
you know what? He should probably.
She's not very good.
He should cast.
She's not very good.
He should
Right.
cast her as the woman who painted over the Jesus fresco in the church in Spain. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Did she like try to repair it?
And
then
it just looked like the goofiest thing ever.
yeah.
That's what she did to that movie.
I think
That was bad.
ouch.
You never
You got to
talk.
make fun
You
of my
never talk.
mom.
The hoof.
He also showed me
Solo contento.
he showed me The Godfather, which I'd never seen, and when Marlon Brando like falls in the fields of oranges at the end, I just went. And
You didn't find that funny either, did
he
you?
laughed.
Oh.
That broke him. I was so proud.
Because until then, he was on edge.
Yeah, it was tough. Like he made me spaghetti to watch The Godfather.
A little mood music, huh?
What a dumb wop.
Hey,
That's my
boy.
favorite racial slur.
hey, I
Wop?
Yeah.
boiled.
We're both Mick Wops.
Yeah.
I boiled some potatoes so we can watch The Quiet Man together.
Jesus.
I can't think. I don't know how that would translate to all the other cuisines and exploitation genres.
Officially, we're out of comic. I mean, we're not, but those are the ones we're going to talk about. But I feel like it's a disservice we don't talk about this one, which is the Marvel Comics Howard the Duck, where he's interacting with several well-known Marvel Universe people.
That's a great book.
But I feel like there was different Howard the Duck ones too, right? This
This is
was
the original. This
is-
is Steve Gerber and Gene Colan.
This is Howard the Duck number
Yeah, this
10.
is considered a part of like the Howard the Duck run. Gerber's the guy who created him.
The
I'm a Gerber baby. That's the name that I give his fans. I'm also a Byrne victim. That's if you like John Byrne but realize he's a terrible person.
He usually has a cigar. There's the cigar.
Yeah,
I see
he's
the
got a
cigar.
cigar.
I
Yeah.
see the
Sure.
cigar.
Which once again wouldn't happen now.
No, ducks are not allowed to smoke cigars in anything. usually.
Marvel banned all smoking. And it's funny because
Really?
Wolverine can still like cut the hearts of like 100 ninjas, but he can't have a victory stogie afterwards.
Gosh, someone's got to really get in there with that comic book code.
is that new?
I know.
Is that a new?
That's like within the last 10 years.
Oh,
what
wow.
if he
So-
uses?
I mean, so Nick Fury's not allowed to have one. then?
Kingpin always had like that stick
yeah.
with a cigar, which I loved.
I work on like network TV too, and they won't.
Maybe Donald Trump is right.
Any sort
Yeah.
of smoking.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, I think Donald Trump is winning because of like the PC backlash. Like, if you call people racist enough, they just stop caring about it. They're like, all right, so I guess I am, and now I'm gonna be as much as I want to be. Fuck you.
Yeah.
wow, we have
have
to hope
someone
we
that-
outnumber those people.
Yep.
Wow.
And fight to the death.
No, I'm not. Okay.
What would
Yeah.
you?
For
What would,
this, it's okay.
We could challenge them to a soccer game so they fall asleep.
I mean, I'm gonna be really upset if there aren't at least assassination attempts.
Attempts. So if Donald Trump was a comic book with just the whole thing, the GOP race, and he comes out and he wins at the end of the comic book, do you burn it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like you just have to.
I'd like to believe that.
I'm sorry,
Donald,
what was the question?
I know.
The question was just if you'd burn. I mean, I guess you would all burn a Donald Trump comic book, but I'm just saying, like, maybe at the end of the series,
I just wouldn't buy it.
he doesn't
That's-
win.
Yeah, why are we buying this?
I don't get the whole burning books thing. If you purchase them, if you steal them and burn them, then that's okay. But if you buy them, then it's like you bought it.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Because it's very hard to burn change.
Yeah.
It's really hard to burn change. It takes a lot of heat to melt them down. So instead, you just burn the paper. No?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go back to my hole, guys. Sorry.
It looks like you've
Sorry.
been. It looks like you've been
I've
burning
I've
the paper.
alienated the
You've been burning the paper at both ends there, Dan. for a
Oh,
while now.
is that a fat joke?
No. You're so infuriating these days.
I don't know, man. You have like a nice juggalo's physique.
Doesn't he? Yeah, like a
It's
freshly
true. I don't put the paint on until 5:30 though.
Yeah.
Like that as a little kid, you wore a jacket, and now your body just is one. It's nice. It's cheap.
Yeah, I don't need to wear jackets. It could be 40 degrees outside. It's fine with me.
You're fine, right?
Yeah, insulation, bro.
I guess this is an advantage, but I do get him paper towel tank tops in the summer.
It's only an advantage in like colder climates. It's not an advantage in July,
you should travel. You
in
should
New York City.
You should travel seasonally.
It's certainly not an advantage.
You should travel seasonally, like to the latitudes that suit you.
I'm doing the opposite of whatever the geese are doing. They're flying south. I'm going north.
You just grew up to be fat cop, like a sketch that reminds us of a simpler time where cops were known for more than just killing kids and getting away with it.
They were just known for eating donuts and being fat.
Yeah, what a fun time.
That's true. Yeah, I'm glad I can make people remember that.
Officer Fat Fuck.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a badge though. If I had a badge, it would really take Fat Cop to the next level. I do have an uncle who is a fat cop, a fat NYPD cop.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I
base some of my actions off of him.
Are you gonna name him? Don't.
No, I'm not going to name him.
That's good.
We don't name names.
We don't name names here.
I'm saying because
How many times have you seen
I'm going to go up to every fat. I'm going to go up to every fat cop in New York City now.
He's
and say,
retired.
Are you related to
He's
Danny?
retired.
Are you
He's
related to Danny?
retired. He's retired and he has a different last name.
I'm going to go
But
to every
Tamborelli's a fat name. You don't want a thin Tamborelli.
No, that's true.
a thin Tamborelli. That's a real metaphor for something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture of my father.
I paid 200.
You can see there's
It's 75 pounds for each syllable. I like it.
It was worth it. And it was worth every penny.
No, I'm like a good 60 pounds shy of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got something to hold up your end of the bargain.
Yeah, I'll gotta fill into it still.
I'm like 245 now, and I'm just like a big like tall guy, but like I talk about being fat on stage, and people don't realize just how like fat I am. I think fat's a feeling too.
It is. It's also you've got a
sweet
state
of mind.
Yeah,
and that sweet beard does a lot to cover
Yeah.
up stuff that I don't have a sweet beard, so I get these chin pubes here to try to hide what's going on. But nobody's. I mean, I'm not fooling anybody.
Yeah,
For the listener, they only serve to draw attention to the pack of francs that occupies the bottom of Danny's chin.
Wait, it's not a pack of francs.
Hey,
It's just like
you don't think I wish I could tell people I was a drummer and they'd automatically believe me?
Look at my van. Look, I have a van.
I always figured the drummer was always fat because they're just the one who's like, I just want to sit down the whole time.
But they work a lot.
Oh, they work a lot.
Yeah, but that's the funny thing about them. They have small arms and legs, but they have a huge gut.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of...
I mean, I'm generalizing
I
for
think-
sure.
I think,
But you think
It's
about
okay,
think
because-
about guys like Vinnie Paul from Pantera.
It's good because 4 out of 5 fat drummers have petunia tattoos. So you're doing all right. They're all the ones.
It's true.
Score.
It's true. But they're all in different places. A couple of them are, back tattoos.
They nicknamed their dicks Smiley Strange.
When it cocks to the side, it is Smiley Strange.
Fanfic. Curved dick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're waiting on all this really sexual fan fiction, Pete and Pete stuff.
Has there been a lot?
No, but we're waiting for it.
Yeah.
We're
Still waiting.
Any moment now, there will be a Twitter with a Tumblr that pops up.
No, you think if it hasn't happened by now, it's not going to happen. But
I mean, you were children,
but
so
he
that's
doesn't.
good.
I'm still holding out hope. I mean, I know there's some weirdo pervs out there.
Yeah, but like with the adult characters, maybe like Michael Stipe's like ice cream salesman, like him and
Mr. Tasty and Ellen?
yeah. Ugh. Was she? No. She's too
No,
young.
you don't.
I'm shutting down this whole conversation.
Yeah.
Shut down.
Speaking of segues.
And the last thing fan fiction people want is suggestions. They're like, I'm leaving the tapestry here. I know what I want.
It's true. I don't need guidelines.
Well, give them to us. We got some weird pictures of us as like Japanimation characters that
That's
popped
cool.
up in the last week or two. Did you see those?
No.
Are you off of Twitter yet?
No, not
He's
yet.
weaning himself off of the Twitter
Not yet.
social media thing.
Has anyone ever said like watching you guys was like the last happy moment of their life? How many times like when they compliment
sometimes
you,
people-
you just
you're
realize
like,
how sad they are?
Yeah, it happens.
I've watched every episode 20 times. Oh, this is about you. This has nothing to do with me anymore.
It could be about all three of us
Yeah.
in certain situations.
What if it's not about you and they were just there for the adventures of?
We'll find out with the live show how many people come to the live show.
What's the live show?
Oh yeah, May 21st. We're doing the NYC Podfest.
And
Oh,
where's
that's
that
awesome.
where's that going to be?
It's going to be at the Cake Shop. Wow, look at this guy. He's
At what time?
pulling plugs. 8 o'clock.
I can't remember. I knew it was
8:30.
I knew it was
8:30?
somewhere downtown, but I
I
couldn't
remember you're going to have even less energy in front of a live audience.
Oh man, you should hear him in front of a live audience.
Oh,
It is.
I fade into the curtains. I got curtains on curtains. Yeah.
The Wizard of Oz. He's the wizard.
I think I ordered a
I
burger.
think Cosby plays your monologues.
What to calm people down.
His cool down is just Mike talking.
I actually was the inventor of the cool down slice, which is after you go out for dinner on you're walking around Greenpoint, and then when you're on the way back home, you pass Carmine's, which is now closed, but you could still maybe fit another slice in there, and so you have a cool down slice before you go back home.
And I've
dinner.
taken it to another level. It's
With
just
the
walking
warm-up-
down the street
with
to
the warm up
see-
slice.
No, you just you're in a mood. It's a nice day. You're hungry. You go get one slice. You keep walking. You know there's another place a couple blocks down. You go on your little pizza tour, and each one is a cool down slice. You get like 3 blocks, and you're tired from walking. You get another cool down slice.
Yeah, I don't.
Then
I
you
think,
keep going.
Yeah, if you're tired from walking, I think it's time to call 911.
Hey man, you can walk a lot. It could be like at least a mile down the road.
Yeah, but at that point it's downhill and you're still having trouble. It's time to call 911. Get the oxygen.
I have that life alert
The bracelet?
necklace. No, it's a necklace.
Oh, it's a necklace.
Do you really?
It would.
I believe that.
Wouldn't you want to have that at all times? It's just like an extra. It doesn't. Why does it have to be for old people? It can be for anybody. Just you wear the pendant.
That sounds
you
like-
spend the money.
That
and
sounds
then
like an
if
argument. This sounds like an argument for never toilet training your kids. It's just investing in Depends.
I
for
was
your
one
whole
of
life.
those commercials just to be the woman to be like, I'm falling and I deserve this.
My husband said I was wrong. What? No. Well, if the husband's there, then obviously he could call 911.
He's bowling.
No, he just dropped her and then went bowling.
Oh,
He physically just dropped her.
that's all. No, because you would in the cutaway, you would see his feet leaving or the bathroom door swinging shut. There would be too much. There would be a giveaway. There would be some sort of indicator that somebody else was there and not caring.
All I'm saying, guys, if like something's happening on the street, you can talk to someone and you hear them right before you get robbed. It's just like, give you your money, life alert, bam, and you're lying on the ground. Hello, can you be of assistance? Yeah, I just got robbed.
Hello, OnStar. It looks like you're
Yeah,
not
it's your own
inside. It looks
personal
like you're not
OnStar.
inside a car. It looks like you're lying down in the middle of the street. Can I connect you with somebody?
Is OnStar still a thing?
I'm sure.
I remember they had those commercials and Booger from Revenge of the Nerds played the Joker. He must have been like, hey guys, I got the part of the Joker in an OnStar commercial.
That's okay. You'd probably be happy.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark Hamill does the voice of the Joker a lot.
Yeah. The
What's-
best voice of the Joker.
I'm saying, what's up with that?
He's amazing at it. They're doing the Killing Joke now. I don't want to see it. I don't care.
I noticed that they're doing the Killing Joke.
Yeah,
now.
tell original stories. It's
What about
really-
Batman Year One? Don't you think that's what's going to come next?
That already did a couple years ago.
What?
Yeah.
And
Michael.
Benjamin McKenzie from the OC
Yeah.
voiced Batman,
Yeah.
and
it was
Brian
anima-
Cranston.
it was animated?
Yeah, Brian Cranston did.
oh no, I meant a live action.
Oh no, I meant the animated ones.
Okay.
Okay.
You were talking about Mark Hamill doing
Yeah.
animated.
So that's why I brought up cartoons.
It made perfect sense to me.
AKA the
I
dad,
understand where you were going.
AKA the dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yes. yes.
Among other things.
Yeah. Oh, he was also the dentist on Seinfeld. And he voiced 2 Power Rangers in season 1.
Which two?
Not 2 monsters. I don't remember which ones, but not Pine Octopus, which was my favorite. He was half pineapple, half octopus.
What?
Yeah.
I missed. I wasn't. I didn't get
Blind
on.
spot.
I didn't get on the Power Rangers train. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't. I know it's like in the right age. Maybe I was just like a year or two too old. But
If you pass it by, you can't go back.
No, it's
And we're probably
We're
probably the same age. 33.
yeah, 34.
Yeah.
there's no way.
See,
there's
that
no
one
way.
year makes a huge
It
difference.
does. The portal is closed.
There's no way.
I was too into Voltron as a kid, and I didn't like it. That I felt it was a total rip on Voltron.
Too organic.
I mean, that's just where my headspace was at 11 or 12. I was like, this is like Voltron. Fuck
I
that.
was He-Man, then Ninja Turtles, then superheroes, then nothing else ever since.
It seems to have served you well.
Not a G.I. Joe guy.
No, because
I twisted my snake eyes until he came apart.
it was. Oh, I did that a few times too with the rubbery legs and shit. Yeah. Well, the problem was like no one ever died. It was supposed to be like like the battlefield and like the parachute thing. The robots were the only ones that survived. I mean, the only ones that were killed. Like I always imagine like so many like
Casualties.
Well, so many people probably signed up for, the service because of G.I. Joe and then realized that bullets will kill you.
Well, that's what I hate about those video game commercials like that, too. Like when they're all like, this is a perfect day. Playing Blue Reed, and they're like happily shooting people. Nobody
all
ever
the soldier
dies.
shit.
Nobody
Yeah.
ever dies in any of those commercials ever.
No.
They're shooting at everybody.
Yeah.
It's a misrepresentation.
Oh, not like the A-Team.
Well, it's amazing.
Well, that was also fucking amazing, too. The A-Team probably shot more rounds than any other TV show ever.
Most rounds expended with 0 deaths.
Well, I always loved like when you watch like if you're watching TV with a bunch of friends who know nothing about like video games, and there'll be like a trailer for a video game, and like the first 10 seconds look legitimately cool, but there's some kind of cheapness in it that already lets you know that it's a video game trailer. Like, what's this for? And it's like you hear one of the same 5 Canadian voice actors that's in every fucking video game. You're like,
Aww.
no, it's a video game. It's nothing real. Don't have to worry. Nothing to see here.
Oh, like it's not a cool movie or a
Yeah.
trailer for something.
Yeah, because they're like, oh man, that I want to see that, and then the second that
Oh,
is,
I gotta play that to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna take 70 hours.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You have to sword people in the neck
yep,
to hear them say that phrase.
you have to unlock the ability to sword people in the neck.
Man, it was a simpler time back in the day when you just got to listen to Duke Nukem say, "I'm gonna rip off your head and shit down your neck."
Yeah,
Did he do that?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
imagine if like old video games weren't, like some of them were good, but a lot of them weren't good, and they knew that, so they just made them hard. Yeah, like what we
I think
can't
he's
give
talking
you
about
quality.
He's talking about Zaxxon.
Yeah,
He's talking about Zaxxon.
Was that like that? Zaxxon?
That 3D. It was like one of the first 3D.
Oh, yeah.
3D games. It was impossibly hard to fly over the wall.
mm-hmm.
I brought it up before. If you've listened to the show, you'll know that this is an unending obsession of mine.
I didn't realize it either. I must have.
Have you ever-
I must have glazed over the fact.
Have you ever
over
gone
23 episodes that I never heard you say Saxon before?
Have you
but I
ever
could
gone?
Be wrong.
Have you ever gone Zax on, Zax off?
There's a first time for everything.
Yeah,
Go for it.
Right now,
go for it.
Zax on, Zax off.
That's fun, right?
Yeah.
That sounded so emotionally
No,
draining.
I could do it again. I could do it again. No, I could do it again.
Happy time. Do it in a happy way.
Oh, fuck you.
Just one.
Zax on, Zax off.
That's nice.
How's that?
How about do it in an informative way now?
Zax on, Zax off.
You must have been an actor.
No, I watch a lot of infomercials, though.
What's your favorite infomercial?
Currently,
Yeah.
the Ninja.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. No, the Ninja blender. It's like For breakfast, I had a blender smoothie. We put another blender inside this blender and blended it up.
And be careful because there's glass particles and plastic in it.
But the
now because
ninja
you
chops them
blended
so
blender.
fine that they won't even hurt you, and you can digest them. Yeah.
I like the protector. It's the little way you can hold your shotgun on the side of your bed, just in case. You just pull the shotgun up. Those are some of the greatest commercials.
Comes with a free Toby Keith CD.
What channel are you watching that shows a protector commercial?
I bet that's History Channel.
I mean, it could be
That sounds like it, right?
History Channel. I could be on tour with the band in the Midwest. I'm not sure.
They're attempting to wall off that demographic.
And one of my favorite shows it's so bad, but it's like hilarious. Is Top Shot. It was like a sniper show on History Channel.
Judged by Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah,
Was Gina Davis doing some arching on that?
no, but it's like the most manly. Like it's just like 12 like military dudes, and it's all these like competition shit. But then they make them say like the regular reality show stuff. Like I'm not here to make friends, but none of them have the least bit of charisma because they've all watched people die in front of their eyes.
So they're reciting lines.
Yeah. I really would not like to go home today, but I have seen the end before, and it is not pretty. Like, it's just it's the grimmest. And then so they'll do these challenges where they have to shoot stuff. It's like they have to shoot like 10 like pickle jars from 200,000 yards or whatever, and then they'll show like the pickle jar exploding in slow motion.
Slow-mo. Everybody loves that slow-mo blow up.
Do they run from station to station with the guns in their hands, which I always find weird?
You're thinking
That's
of
American. That's
sport, too.
American Gladiators, I think.
Which I loved.
No,
Assault.
they
That was
don't
my
have-
favorite
They
thing.
definitely don't have
man.
guns.
Well, not guns. They had tennis ball guns.
No, but I feel like I watched that before, and they like go from like
I think we should all have to do biathlon.
Place to place.
I think
That's definitely
skiing and shooting are the two most important things you should be able to do. Biathlon.
I've skied once in my life.
Yeah.
I've shot guns twice in my life.
There you go. So you did a biathlon. You did
I've never done it.
1.5 biathlons.
never shot a gun.
No,
I've never shot a gun.
I'm really anti-gun.
I've never shot a gun, and I have skied like once or twice.
You know who has shot a gun? Batman in Batman vs. Superman.
Oh man!
Even though his parents were murdered by them, he still fires them and kills people.
It's weird.
He still wears a pearl necklace.
You just become.
Even though his
your
mom was-
parents.
Yeah.
Poor Batman.
Poor Batman.
I proposed to my wife after Ben Affleck was announced as Batman because
you thought it was over.
I thought that was like Batman saying to me, "You can leave now. Go face the real world. And when it hurts you, I'll be back."
So did the voice going down not do anything for you?
Oh, the modulated
Modulation,
voice?
the
That was
modulation
dumb.
Ben Affleck voice.
Oh, it was bad. He wasn't terrible, but the whole movie was, and he's now played two murderous superheroes. Like, he threw a guy in front of a train in Daredevil, and then he, shoots people in Batman. And,
Come on, that's not the real reason you don't respect him. The real reason you don't respect him is things like The Town.
Town was okay.
So then it wasn't The Town.
It wasn't The Town.
It was this movie now.
It wasn't him playing a Latino person in Argo, despite looking nothing like a Latino.
It wasn't Geely.
No, he plays a character named Tony Mendez in the Best Picture winner of 2012, I think, or 2013.
Argo.
Yeah,
Maybe you've heard of it.
They just forget to change those names, though. When they send the script around, those names are those.
well, it's because it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
That was the real person that he's playing.
Well, then that's probably good because the real person probably is in danger.
They show the guy at the end of the movie, they show the actor next to what the person looked like, and the real guy just looks like Luis Guzman.
Oh,
He just wanted to own
and
a
you know
nightclub.
what? And he was busy. Guzman was busy, and that's why they took after.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have done. He just lost an audition to Hardy Rawls.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna get there. We'll get there.
Mike, you got anything you want to plug?
I have my own podcast, Nerd of Mouth, and that airs on the Cave Comedy Radio Network. I have an upcoming Comedy Central Snapchat series called You're Wrong, where I shit on your pop culture opinions. And that'll be fun. And then I was a writer on the newest season of Inside Amy Schumer, and that premieres on Comedy Central April 21st.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming over here, man.
Yeah, that was really fun, guys. And everyone should read Amazing Spider-Man issue 33. It is the greatest issue of all time.
We'll
be giving those away.
We'll be giving
we'll be collecting them.
Yeah, and that's my pop. My
one.
pops has like about 100 of the original.
So everybody go to his dad's garage.
Yeah, no.
Just show up.
First appearance of Punisher. Got it. That's a humble brag.
That's Amazing Spider-Man number 129.
129.
Yep. Written by Gary Conway and drawn by Cocaine.
Wow.
Oh, I wish I could be as good. I got to look up.
At anything, let alone comics. Just at anything.
Yeah. Damn.
Well, thanks so much for hanging out. It's been fun.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike. So there you have it. As we close the door on this adventure, we remember the lessons we've learned. Danny hated a brand, and its name was
Arbys! Giuseppe, my ass!
Mike Lawrence almost shed a tear staring at Amazing Spider-Man number 33. And Superman spanking Superboy would hurt and possibly cause earthquakes in India. But most of all, remember that your fake TV brothers are here for you and will always have your backs, adventure after adventure.
The Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. The show is produced by Jeremy Balin and Marianne Ways. This podcast is part of the Feral Audio Podcasting Collective and can be found on their website at feralaudio.com. For more information on the guys, visit our website at dannyandmike.com. Also, look us up on Twitter at Danny and Mike with the "and" spelled out, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Thanks for listening.
Feral Audio.